We are moving into July. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak with Weather 2020. The river of air above us is cycling regularly. However, the jet stream is retreating northward, and that's going to lead to the summer pattern that we're now experiencing. Let's take a look at the anticyclone or heat wave creating machine and where it's going next. All right, we'll start by looking at the outlook on this June 30th, 2026, the LRC weather outlook for the next 2 months. Wow, look at this. Kansas City's number one in the Corn Belt, basically, for above average on rainfall, 27.73 inches of rain, as you can see here. We do have 27.73 inches. That's 7.8 inches above average, 139% of average as of June 30th. Springfield, Illinois is next with 129% above average. And all the green areas are highly favorable to near normal conditions for the pollination season ahead as we get started. That doesn't mean there's not going to be heat stress coming up. Hastings, Nebraska, a little bit behind. They were way behind. Eau Claire, Wisconsin, a little bit behind. Fargo has been catching up a little bit recently. Sioux Falls, Denver, and North Platte near that Anchor Ridge with way below average precipitation, and thus the fires over Utah and Colorado that are in progress at this moment. This is rainfall percentage of average rainfall. You can see for the month of June. Looks like La Nina. What's going on? I thought it was El Nino. We have cooler weather in Montana extending southeast to Indiana. So it just shows you the same pattern has continued to cycle. So let's take a look a little bit closer here again as we look at from this slide. So again, this is the temperature departure from average for the month of June and the cooler than average from Montana to Illinois. The best conditions for corn and soybeans and other crops from Kansas, Missouri, northeast to Milwaukee, and over towards Indiana, western Ohio, the best conditions, as you can see here in that area. The struggling areas will continue to be out west with that Anchor Ridge, but the summer monsoon is also setting up. Let's analyze the pattern that is developing right now. You're looking at the flow at about 18,000 feet up, the 500 millibar level today on June 30th. There is an anticyclone right here over the southeast today, and it's pumping heat along the east coast. Where these anticyclones are decide where the heat waves will be, most likely. The summer anticyclone is what we call the heat wave creating machine. You can see there it is. By July 4th, by the way, the jet stream's right in here, and there's an upper high displacing it farther south. That's what we just had, the severe weather across the northern plains. By July 4th, the anticyclones are pretty much gone. They're weakly there. The monsoon's starting, and you can see an upper high up here northwest of Hudson Bay, on the northwest coast of Hudson Bay. But this is going to moderate heat, and you see this little wiggle? That's a disturbance that's going to bring some rain around the 4th of July. More on that in a second, but no strong anticyclone. By 1 week later, the anticyclone reemerges and intensifies over the west. All right, and when they're out here, they can easily shift to the central part of the country, and that could happen by the middle of the month. So the heat wave creating machine shifts to the west, the jet streams displaced way to the north, and we are in a summer pattern. When this upper high sits over the four corners, moisture from Mexico can be drift into California, and it could lead to some afternoon and evening thunderstorms. At the surface on July 3rd, coming up Friday, hot and staying dry in most areas for fireworks shows on Friday. This front across northern Nebraska is going to sag south. Watch where it goes on July 4th. It settles to near the Kansas-Nebraska border, northern Missouri, and it could lead to some strong thunderstorms in this area. Not a lot of energy for tornadoes, but strong and maybe a few severe thunderstorms could impact July 4th over Nebraska, Iowa, northern Kansas, northern Missouri, probably after the fireworks displays, but we got to watch this little front sagging into the plains on July 4th. And rainfall wise for the next 15 days, the southeast forecast to get wet. Missouri stays wet. Iowa, up in the North Dakota and Minnesota, stays wet. And we still have struggle areas across Nebraska. Maybe some thunderstorms over the mountains with the monsoon moisture coming up, circulating towards Colorado by the middle of July. Temperature wise on July 4th, 104 around New Jersey, 105 in northwest Oklahoma, so some heat. It's not extreme out of control heat, by the way, like you might be hearing in many media sources. They just go crazy about how hot it is, but it's just typical summer heat. By July 15th, it is forecast to get pretty hot in this area, so we'll keep monitoring that. The LRC model for the next 2 months, this is Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, down to Arkansas and Oklahoma. Notice how all locations forecast to be above average temperatures this summer by 1 to as much as 5 degrees above average, especially where the fires are out west. And then rainfall wise, 1 inch to 11 inches of rain the next 2 months. So Nebraska still forecast to get 1 to 3 inches of rain out here, but the wettest areas are going to be from Wisconsin and Iowa down to Kansas City. And you can see the percentage of average. It's below average over Nebraska. And then rainfall for Iowa, you can go look at the report at weather2020.substack.com. Here's Illinois. And by the way, you can have this tool in your tool chest. You go down to your county, your state, the United States, or you can even go to other countries if you want the whole world. See what's going to happen in South America, for example, in Brazil, in Argentina. But anyway, there's the July and August rainfall outlook. If you're interested, email us at hello@weather2020.com. So there's your update today. Again, weather2020.substack.com. We have a discount between now and July 4th. So a 250-year celebration of the United States discount. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Let me know if there's any questions at all. Have a great holiday week.